yesterday, Frank Wilson, the interim head coach, for the first time met with the media. We'll play some of that a little bit later on. Got me feeling good. Got me feeling rejuvenated.
Frank is the man. Love Frank. And love that he cares. Oh, I love that it means a lot to him. I love that Louisiana and LSU means a lot to him. So as a former player, not that it matters at all, but that means a lot to me. And I think that means a lot to the fans. That's a perfect person to try to steady the ship right now, because you got a lot of turmoil. You have recruits you have to talk to. You have current players that you have to recruit. You have to hold the line, if you will, hold the rope. And he's the perfect person to do it right now. And what he said yesterday was great. It meant a lot to probably a lot of us that listened to it and heard the words that he was saying and just the way he was doing it and the attitude that he's bringing to it. It is not a self-serving attitude. It is a LSU serving attitude. And that was great to hear. It was, like I just said, like as a former player watching that, it was like, yep, this guy gets it. And he always has. That's why he has the respect of current players, former players, coaching staffs. He's very well respected, very well liked around that entire staff, around all the players. And he's the perfect fit for the guy to come in right now in this time of turmoil, in this time where you have 3 losses, but you got a lot of season left to play. It's easy for a program to kind of take a step back when something like this happens because of all the people that you could potentially lose, all the recruits you could potentially lose, the talent leaving. But he's the right guy at the right time to take on this task, and it is a tall task. It's a hard task. You got a bye week. You got to go to Alabama. It's not easy. Doesn't get easy from here.
Right.
So you know what? Still the same roster that we had before the season.
True.
Still the same roster that went into Clemson, beat Florida here. Shoulda, coulda, woulda on a couple of different games.
Beat South Carolina, who just went toe-to-toe with Alabama.
Yep.
This year more than any year, it's a little unexpected. Don't really know how it's going to play out.
Yep.
And I feel much more confident that it's going to be a 4-quarter situation and not just a first-half situation.
Yep. And I think Frank just kind of gets it, right? He gets it from all aspects. He gets and tips his cap and he thanked Brian Kelly. But he also knows that different things have to happen and change. And I know he's reached out to a lot of former players.
Yeah.
Including us.
Yep.
And I can tell you we're excited and he's got our support. There's no doubt about it.
Yep. And, again, we'll play some of the sound that he had from his opening press conference. And it's a great point about it is the same roster. It is the same Jimmys and Joes that we were excited about before the year. And now it's about getting the most out of said Jimmys and Joes. And you've been in this situation before, and we talked about it, I think it was, maybe on Monday. I don't know, maybe before Brian Kelly even got fired. Like when you went to Alabama and Coach O was coaching, but he had already been told he was not going to be retained. And, Durante Jones put together a game plan that Alabama hadn't seen before. It was like kind of like, why the hell not type situation. Let's do something different. And they were playing cover 0 and like the entire game and just bring in the house. And they're like, why not? Let's just do it. Right. And like that's the kind of situation that you find yourself in whenever you have an interim head coach. It's like, look, we are going to just do it our way. We're going to do things a little bit differently. Like maybe it's a little unsound, but you know what? We're going to do it full tilt. And we're going to do some things that are a little bit different here.
Yep.
I not to preview the game, that's not for a while, but I hope that's the mentality like for that game. Certainly offensively. My God, take some chances.
What do you mean, dude?
God,
are you kidding me?
I was the most high school hairy play scheme last week against A&M that I'd ever seen before.
It was as an offensive, two former offensive people and fan base who likes to see good offense and just in football, that's the great defense is awesome. Great defense is beautiful. Great defense is tough and nasty and mean and gritty, and you love as a fan base to have a good defense. But let's all be honest, the offense is the fun part.
Yeah.
Like if you're good on
Yeah,
offense,
we all know
like
that.
how fun was it 2 years ago? And Jaden was great, but the defense was still terrible. But it was still really fun.
Yeah.
Really fun to watch that team and be a part of it. So yeah, this offense this year has not made watching LSU football fun. It has not made any game fun. The defense had some sparks where it was like, yeah, we got something to hang our hat on, certainly. But and I can't blame it on the players. Sure, there's been issues on the line. You know, Garrett hadn't played up to his standard. But I mean, goodness gracious, I don't know if they've really been given a chance up to this point. So yeah, why not take a little bit of a risk and change some things up and do some things different? It's nothing. Got nothing to lose at this point, right? Yeah, I guess you do have something to lose. I'll take that back.
What?
Not a great statement.
What do you mean?
You can't go out there and look bad.
No, but
you can't get much worse.
But you're right about like having nothing to lose. Like right now, your main goal is probably out of reach. I mean, a million things would have to happen, but so I was.
How about a fake punt? We're gonna get a fake punt. What do you think? We're gonna get some sort of trickery.
I hope it's all up. Like hope every bit of it is up. But I was talking with Jimbo yesterday. My first thing he asked me, he's like, "Hey, you know you can use all 53 yards, right?" Like I was like, "Yeah, I do. I don't know if everybody knew that, but yeah." And that's how wide a football field is, in case anybody was wondering.
What?
Yeah. You can use all 53.
Yeah, you can. The problem is, I would rebuke Jimbo on that and say, problem is we're using the first one and the 53rd one a little bit too much. We're using the sideline yards a little too much. Let's stick with it like the inner 20.
Yeah. And there's so many plays that we could show you on here that don't even have an option in that portion of the field that we're talking about between the hashes. And again, and y'all know this, but the hashes are so wide in college football. It's hard
to avoid.
It's hard to avoid the middle of the field.
Yeah, that was a shocking thing when we've been looking at the passing chart the last 2 weeks. So losses against Vanderbilt, and of course his pass loss against A&M. There was one pass in each game that was completed over the middle of the field, so in between the hashes, like clearly in between the hashes, that went 5 yards in the air past the line of scrimmage. So there's a lot of checkdowns, and there's been 2 passes total, one in each game, and that is like it's very hard to do in a drop back passing offense. So that tells you that your schemes are too outwardly focused. So all of your passing games are towards the sideline. So all your first, second reads. So I'm dropping back in a 3-by-1, and my first read's my number 1 outside. My second read's is an alert to the second receiver. Then my third read is a stick route to the number 3 receiver, or the tight end. And there's nothing attacking the middle of the field. And it was just shocking how many times we would drop back and see that. And then a lot of our other downfield passes are, basically scripted, drawn-up plays, trickery, where wide receivers are blocking, or it's a screen pass or an RPO or something like that, where there's no option to attack the middle of the field. I've just never seen a drop-back offense in with capable personnel that doesn't run normal dropbacks with shallow crosses and dig routes and multiple people attacking different windows of the middle of the field. Like you go to any high school and watch a 7-on-7 tournament. They're throwing seams, they're throwing digs, they're throwing daggers, they're throwing knives, they're throwing all sorts of things over the middle. It's not just, I'm going to sit here and throw a 50-50 ball down the sideline, or I'm going to throw what turns into a 50-50 comeback to the wide side of the field. Certainly a 50-50 hitch route to the wide side of the field. How many times did we do that? I mean, we completed some last week, thank God. Easily could have been 6 the other way.
Yeah.
And you're throwing a hitch to the wide side of the field with a corner that's sitting on his heels. Anyway. Can't get upset with a vest on this morning.
Let's see. from PF Tiger 7. Did you know Woodward is not responsible for Jimbo's buyout at A&M? The new athletic director gave him a huge extension. That's what did it. It was kind of built on it a little bit, but it's funny you mentioned that. Jimbo said that to me yesterday, literally. Like, so y'all know he's my co-host on Tuesdays on SiriusXM, and he's like, "Hey, why they keep tagging my buyout with Scott?" It's like, Ross signed that one.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, well, yeah, I guess, he did. But I guess, it's built off of, I guess, the original contract. But he's like, yeah, no. But Ross signed that one. Mm-hmm. Ross Bjork, who's now the AD at Ohio State.
Yeah, I think that was kind of like the easy target, right?
Yeah.
Easy target saying, well, Scott did, Jimbo's, he did Brian's. So, I mean, that's the question, too. So, with this, in this kind of vacancy, that's this void that's being left, and, Frank's filling that right now. And, once that coaching search keeps going on, that's kind of the thing. Like, who's going to be making the decision? And I think that was an easy target of saying, well, Scott's made two bad ones with bad buyout deals, which, if you want to try to get the best, I mean, you do have to pay up in the world, unfortunately.
I do think eventually, like, that all of that will calm down, and you won't see 10-year contracts anymore. At least you would think so. And I know it's so hard after it's already been done for so long, but
you just have to have a collective group of teams that say they're not going to do it.
They're not going to do it.
But I mean, like, you look at the model of professional football, obviously the NFL. You looked at the CBA, the collective bargaining agreement. It doesn't have anything to do with the coaches' salaries and how that is all structured. I don't think, at least. So why, if at one point in college football, if a collective bargaining agreement was ever made for college football, which it probably would have to be at some point, I don't think it would include coaches' salaries. I don't think coaches would be part of that bargaining agreement.
Right.
It would be separate.
Yeah.
So something would have to. So it'd have to be a collective of universities just saying, you have to get your Georgias and your Ohio States and your Oregons and your LSUs and Texas schools and Florida schools all together and be like, we're handshake deal. We're not doing that anymore.
Yeah. Yeah. Look, Jimmy, we love you.
Mm-hmm.
You got this done.
Yep.
Tip of the cap to you, but, and I know you got all the head coaches. I know that, but I think we can all agree this is not good for the game.
Yeah.
Now, if that gets done, who knows? Because Jimmy's going to be like, why would I do that? I've got everybody. Talking about Jimmy Sexton, of course. I've got everybody. Why would I do that?